Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
F1, Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four, The Naked Gun. This should have been the biggest summer at the box office in years. Instead, it turned into a complete bloodbath. And I'm sitting here watching Hollywood make the dumbest mistake I've ever seen. Every single movie underperformed. Jurassic World had the lowest opening weekend ever for the franchise. And this is a series that used to print money.
Oh, that's discouraging.
Superman, Fantastic Four, both opened shockingly low compared to what everyone expected. Now I've been hearing the usual takes. Superhero fatigue, poor marketing. Movies don't have spectacle anymore. And yeah, maybe those played a role, but I don't fully agree with any of that. This summer was doomed by one incredibly dumb decision that somehow every studio made at the same time. The schedule.
What do you mean?
Remember Barbenheimer? That once-in-a-lifetime moment when Barbie and Oppenheimer came out at the same weekend and both exploded at the box office. People were watching both movies. Theaters were packed. Everyone was making money. You know why that worked? Two completely different audiences. Barbie brought one crowd, Oppenheimer brought another. And somehow they didn't cannibalize each other. Even its knockoff, Wicked with Wicked and Gladiator 2 did pretty well. Again, different audiences going to see different types of movies. But this summer, F1, Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four, and The Naked Gun. Every single one of these movies is targeting the exact same crowd. The same people who want big budget spectacle, action, and escapism. And here's the thing that Hollywood seems to have forgotten. Cinema tickets are expensive now. Going to the movies isn't this casual thing you do on a whim anymore. It's become a luxury event. I saved up to watch 3 movies this summer, and I consider myself a pretty dedicated moviegoer. But most people, they choose 1, maybe 2 if they were feeling generous with their wallets. I know friends who picked Fantastic Four and completely skipped Superman. Others went for F1 and ignored everything else that came out. It wasn't because they weren't interested. It was about money, time, and priorities. When you're spending $15 and $20 on a ticket, plus parking, plus snacks, you're looking at a $50, $60 night out. You can't do that every weekend. And here's what I think is the bigger issue. People aren't desperate to watch these movies right away anymore. Why? Because there's no shortage of entertainment at home. They've got YouTube, streaming services, gaming, social media, all of it instantly available and way cheaper than a night at the movies. So if the cinema is forcing them to choose between 5 movies they want to see, guess what? They'll just wait for streaming. Or honestly, they might just stay home altogether. Before I continue, let me know in the comments. Do you feel this summer movie fatigue too? Were you picking and choosing which blockbusters to see because of the cost? Hit that like button if this resonates with you, and subscribe if you want more breakdowns of what's actually happening in Hollywood versus what they're telling us. So this isn't about genre fatigue. This summer's box office disaster doesn't reflect dying superhero genre or people getting tired of big movies. It reflects Hollywood's terrible planning.
The place is falling apart.
They left the whole year practically barren. Seriously, what major blockbuster came out in March or April, then jammed 6 massive blockbusters into 2 months, and somehow expected them all to thrive?
It's been a hell of a week at the office.
I can bet you if these movies were spaced out properly, Jurassic World would have hit $1 billion easy. It still crossed $750 million despite all the competition, which shows people wanted to see it. Superman probably would have done $800-900 million for sure. Fantastic Four could have been a genuine hit instead of this disappointing footnote.
Okay.
These weren't bad movies. People were genuinely excited for them. I was excited. My friends were excited. Even F1, which had this whole different audience with the racing crowd, could have done way better if it had room to breathe instead of competing with dinosaurs and superheroes. And speaking of these movies, I'll be dropping my full review of Superman and Fantastic Four soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss those breakdowns. So nobody wins this summer. Not the studios who spent hundreds of millions making these movies, not the fans who wanted their favorite franchise to be a massive hit, and especially not the box office, which is now looking like a disaster zone that is going to have executives panicking about the future of theatrical releases. But if Hollywood actually learns from this mess, maybe next summer won't be a complete bloodbath. The problem is, I'm already seeing them making the same mistake again. They're looking at this summer and thinking, oh, people don't want big movies anymore, instead of realizing they just scheduled them terribly. And if they don't fix this planning issue soon, people are going to keep picking and choosing which movies they want to see. If they like one movie more, they'll hold off on seeing the others and go for that one instead, which means those other movies lose out on potential revenue from that same person. Or honestly, they'll just sit at home and watch Netflix instead of dealing with the whole decision-making process. Why stress about choosing between 3 or 4 movies when you can just binge watch something at home for free? What do you think? Am I completely wrong about this, or did Hollywood mess up this summer? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more analysis of what's actually happening behind these box office numbers, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're interested in more breakdowns of what makes movies work or fail, check out my other video where I dive into why Thunderbolts worked while Captain America: Brave New World completely failed. It's a perfect example of how execution matters more than budget or marketing. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.